Are you any more sold on the Cowboys now?
No, I'm not any more sold on the Cowboys now. They just happen to be playing the best football in a very bad division. And if you look at the teams that they've beat the last 3 games, they beat Cincinnati, has 4 wins. The 49ers, their injury history and what's been going on with them, has 6 wins. And Philly have 4 wins. So all 6 of their wins this year have come against teams that's outside of the playoff picture. Give them credit. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to beat the bad teams and give yourself an opportunity or a chance to make the playoffs. But Jalen Hurts didn't play well. Now, the questions that everybody had, oh, this is it. Jalen Hurts is the quarterback of the future. Carson Wentz is officially done. Now, I just want to know, what would the story be this morning in Philly or across the nation had Carson Wentz turned the ball over 3 times in the second half and didn't score a point? What would the storyline be? Because that's what Jalen Hurts did. Jalen Hurts turned the ball over 3 times, did not score a point in the second half. 3 turnovers in the second half. So this notion that Philly have found their quarterback of the future is not true, and it has not been true. But back to this. Skip, the Eagles aren't a good football team. And once Fletcher Cox went out of that ball game, now they could not generate the pressure with the 4-man. Skip, their secondary. I'm trying to think of another secondary that's as bad as the Eagles. They paid Darius Slay, and he likes to go by the moniker Big Play Slay. But it's Big Play the other way if you play in the Eagles. Michael Jacquet, I think that's how you pronounce his last name. He got so bad he became unplayable. When a guy in the National Football League becomes unplayable, it lets you know how bad they actually are in the secondary. And that's what's happened. But give the Cowboys credit, Skip. I will give them credit. They could have easily lost this game and we'd have been having a different conversation. But they did what they were supposed to do. But am I any more confident in them? And I remember telling you last week, Skip, I said, I hope y'all guys win this game, because I wanted to hurt a little bit more. Because if you get to this point, and then you don't cross over, that's when it really hurts you, Skip. So that's what I'm counting on. Now, I'm very disappointed with Skip. We talked about this at the beginning. We talked about it in the middle of the week when we found out that Haskins had did what he had did last week after the Seattle game. They lost the game, and he chose to go out. And so I had no confidence in him. Now, he just wrote himself a one-way ticket. I believe he was out of there anyway, but there's no question about it. I mean, if Ron Rivera could have, he probably would have shipped him out last night. But I'm not going to put it all on Haskins. The defense didn't do what they were supposed to do either, because they're a defensive-led football team. And I thought the Carolina Panthers was able to run the football. They did a good job of protecting Teddy Bridgewater, and he made enough plays. But give the Cowboys credit. Today, hey, not going to beat them up too bad, but to say this notion that all of a sudden they're a contender, no, they're not, and they will not make the playoffs.
Well, wait a second. You concluded by saying give them credit, but your first sentence was you give them no credit.
No, what I'm saying, Skip, look, they did what they were supposed to do. They beat a bad football team. See, you want to make it seem as if they beat Kansas City. You want to make it seem that they beat a team that's in the playoff. Name one team of those 6 victories that are currently in the playoff position. Name one.
My turn. Shannon Sharpe. For 3 straight weeks, you have picked against my Cowboys. You said they would lose at Cincinnati, they would lose at home to San Francisco, and they would lose yesterday at home to the Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah. You also predicted that Washington would win the East yesterday by beating Carolina.
Yes.
So you've been wrong.
Right.
And I've been right.
So in other words, you've been right 3 weeks, I've been right 7 weeks, and now all of a sudden you right. Okay.
Shannon Sharpe, here come my Cowboys. You should buy in, because they are slapping you in the face with what they are doing. They have now taken the ball away 10 times in the last 3 games, and they've given it away only 1 time in the last 3 games. Andy Dalton has thrown 7 touchdown passes in the last 3 games to just 1 interception, and it was by Big Play Slay yesterday. And he did play, if I'm not mistaken, he played the whole game at cornerback, so he's one of the better shutdown corners in the game.
No, hold on. If
so
you grade
he was out there, I think, for the whole game. I don't know.
Well, Skip, you love Pro Football Focus. Go look at the grade that Pro Football Focus has on Darius Slay and get back to me and tell me he's having a great season.
Okay, well, what is it? I don't know. I didn't look.
It's bad.
I just know he's really, really good.
No.
He made a really good play on a 50-50 ball that if he gambles and loses on, CeeDee Lamb has another 70-yard touchdown, but no, he picked it on Andy Dalton. So that's the one turnover in the last 3 games. So let's look at these 3 games, shall we? My offense went to Cincinnati and hung 30 on Cincinnati. And
really?
Pittsburgh then went the next Monday night to Cincinnati and managed to score 17 points. That's the same Pittsburgh that exploded yesterday on the Colts. Would you believe that my offense hung 41 on San Francisco? And did you see what San Francisco did on Saturday to Arizona, to Kyler Murray?
Oh, no,
held him
not Kyler.
to 12 points.
Kyler didn't play.
I think he did play.
Oh, he did? Oh, okay.
12 points and 41 we scored on them. Then yesterday we hung 37 more on Philadelphia. And just 3 weeks back in Jalen's first start, albeit against Taysom Hill, they held New Orleans to 21 points. So they're not that bad. Don't give me that bad. So, again, my offense has now scored 30, 41, and 37 in the last 3 weeks. Over that span, that's the fourth most points scored in the NFL. And all of a sudden, I'm seeing not good things, but great things happening to my team, because my team would have folded with a game start like that yesterday. So Jalen Hurts takes the football. And by the way, Jalen Hurts for the game, you say he played terrible. He threw for 342 yards. He ran for another 69 yards. That's 411 yards that Jalen Hurts put up against my team. 411, and this man said he played terrible.
Time out. Last year in a playoff game, Lamar Jackson had over 500, but Tennessee beat him.
Okay, so, wait a second. We're comparing Jalen Hurts in his third start to Lamar Jackson, the MVP?
Skip.
Seriously?
Skip, let me ask you a question.
That's all you got?
Skip, what good is a damn dress if you don't get selected homecoming queen? So, in other words, he got dressed up, threw for all those yards, and he caught an L. So, what are we doing? Are we doing yardage or are we doing wins?
Then let's do his turnovers in the second half, shall we?
Yes, we shall.
He had one really bad idea interception that he threw into the end zone. One, but that was the only mistake he made in the whole game.
What about the one to Trayvon Diggs?
Okay, that was late. They were down 37-17, and he's just desperate. And the fumble, could we see the fumble real quick? It was not a fumble, and you can't hang this one on Jalen Hurts, because if they don't screw this one up and screw Philadelphia on this play,
I agree.
Jalen Hurts, this is his knee, his right knee for sure, is completely down on this, and they gave the ball to Dallas at the 12-yard line. If you call this correctly, if you review this correctly, they've got the ball 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line, and I'm pretty sure they're going to go in and score.
Well,
if they do, guess what? It's a 7-point game, and I'm holding on for dear life.
Well, maybe
because Jalen Hurts scares me to death.
Maybe the replay official was watching Wonder Woman 1984.
Maybe.
But he did lose another fumble, and they were very fortunate enough to get that one back. So he did have 2. Skip, and I get it. And I said at the time, I ain't nowhere in hell that's a fumble, because both of these were down. Not one, both of these were down. But they stuck with the call that's on the field, Skip. They don't really like the official. They don't really like to overturn it, because I get all that.
And by the way, he had driven them 70 yards in 12 plays at that point. Another long drive against my defense, because my defense just sort of hangs on for dear life. But lately, it has been hanging on. And what I love the most is my offense did not quit in a game that they've been quitting in the past. They just hung it up, rolled over, and played dead for every team except for the last 3. And all of a sudden, yesterday, thanks to Jalen Hurts, Philadelphia goes up 14-3 in that game, thanks to an 81-yard bomb to Deshaun Jackson. Why they didn't go back to him more, I don't know.
Did he get hurt or something? Because I never saw him again.
That was his only target of the game. Now, he has a history against Dallas, a long history of disappearing. Here's the 81-yarder. And I've seen that movie before again and again and again all year. It did not surprise me. But what did surprise me, that was 5:08 left in the first quarter. My team did not quit. Here they came, and they went 63 yards in 10 plays, and they hit Dalton hit Gallup for 14, and then Gallup for a 21-yard touchdown, if we could see those, to make it 14-10. And I thought, you know what? This is a new day in Dallas. This is a different day in Dallas, because they are not going to fold. Here we go.
Great throw.
Yeah, and nice tackle. Broke a couple of tackles. Thank you very much. And obviously, Gallup was on Michael Jacquet, undrafted Louisiana Raging Cajun rookie, and he was getting torched, and they yanked him late in the first half after he'd given up 182 yards. I don't care if you're throwing against William and Mary. I just don't care. It's hard to do what Andy Dalton did yesterday. He had 5 throws that went for 20-plus yards. When you look at this, he went 69 to Amari Cooper. He went 55 to Gallup. He went 52 to CeeDee Lamb for the touchdown, 35 to Amari Cooper, and 21 more that we just saw for a touchdown to Michael Gallup.
Yeah.
It's hard to do that unless you're pretty to very good. And he's got 3 stud receivers.
Skip, hold on. So why hasn't he done that before?
Done that. Well, he's been doing it for 3 weeks.
No.
30, 41, and 37. Look out.
So let me ask you a
question. Here he comes.
So he has 3 in one game. Mm-hmm. He had 3 passes of at least 50.
Yep.
He's had 5 of at least 20.
Yep.
So if it was that easy, so what's been going on? So Andy Dalton been bull jiving?
My defense has been getting literally run off the field until 3 games ago, when at least it's credible. At least it can hang in. And the defensive job they did on Jalen Hurts, because the one bad interception that he threw into the end zone, they actually hemmed him in. They actually made him stop, because against the first 2 teams that he played on this play, he just gets outside and runs for the 20-yard touchdown. That one, they hemmed him in. They hemmed him in and said, no, you can't get out here. They actually look, dare I say, well coached.
Just throw it away.
And you got to throw it away, but you're desperate. You're trying to get back in this game, because all of a sudden the Cowboys look like they have seized momentum. And listen, Randy Gregory is flying off the edge. All of a sudden, number 94 is wreaking havoc. DeMarcus Lawrence was fairly quiet yesterday, but if you look for number 90, I bet you can see him next Sunday at New York against the Giants, because those 2, guess who went down 6 times yesterday thanks to the Baltimore Ravens? Daniel Jones went down 6 times. My defense can get him.
Skip, he can't move, Skip. Okay. He's hurt. And I get it. He's probably your best option. But it's hard for me to believe that Daniel Jones is your best option with a pulled hamstring, because his whole thing is ability, is mobility. And if you can't move, Skip, you're a sitting target. Colt McCoy would probably give them a better chance. Not to say they would win, but I believe he will give them a better opportunity to win. Yeah. But, Skip, this notion that all of a sudden the Cowboys are formidable, Skip, you're not playing anybody that's good. These teams aren't good, and you know that. You know they're not very good. But I won't take anything away from them. You're beating teams that you should beat that are bad. But this notion that all of a sudden Cincinnati is a playoff-bound team and Philly is a playoff-bound team, Skip, they had 4 wins. They had 4 wins.
So last 2 minutes of the first half yesterday, my team went 75 yards in 11 plays, thanks to Gallup, 19 yards, and Gallup, 7 yards, touchdown. And that made it 20-17 at halftime, and Dallas got the ball to start the second half. And they did what Mike McCarthy calls a double. So they came right back with 75 yards in 5 plays, because it was CeeDee Lamb for 55 yards, if we could see that play, and he is gone. And the game was basically gone at that point for Philadelphia, because that made it 27-17. And Mike McCarthy loved that double, late first half, start second half with touchdowns, that he said after the game he's going to give his team on Wednesday after practice double Whataburgers with cheese. That may be, is that one of your favorites? I don't know.
I don't do Whataburgers. I've never had it, so
okay. Well,
they might be good.
I had them in high school, and they're really, really good. So he's going to reward his team with those. And to your chagrin, would you believe at the hotel on Saturday night, they went watermelon again, much to your chagrin, and frankly mine. I don't love it because the symbolism is completely dead wrong. But apparently the captains of this team, especially the black captains of this team, are not offended. And they said Amari Cooper smashed the watermelons, this time with the big old sledgehammer. And somehow they seem inspired by it, so here they come.
It seems to be. So when they did it the first time against Minnesota, and they won, and then they followed that up with loss. So I guess they didn't do it then. So it seems to be when they win, it works. But when they lose, it's something else at play here. Skip, let's be all the way. This is a very bad division. And it just so happens over the last 3 weeks in a very bad division, your team is possibly playing the best because of what transpired. One team lost their quarterback with a hamstring. The other team lost their starting quarterback with a calf injury. And the backup on one team is so immature that he does not care. I can promise you there is no way on God's green earth they could bring Dwayne Haskins back in that locker room. I don't know if anybody noticed, but you pan the sideline and look how they're looking at him in disgust.
Agreed.
They're disgusted that he would put them in a situation that he was so selfish that forget that my coach is going through chemo over the last 8 weeks and he's highly susceptible.
Yep.
Forget all that. The mere fact that we are a team, you're a captain of the team.
Yep.
And you would say, you know what, for my selfishness, I would rather enjoy myself than possibly just go home, study, and prepare. So because now that was the story I always kept. It wasn't about Dwayne Haskins did this and he got stripped of his captaincy and $40,000. It was nothing to do about the game. And you took it upon that was your fault. You made it about you. Now, the Cowboys have set themselves up. This is all you can hope for in a winner-take-all situation, Skip. No matter what has transpired, the first 12, 13 games, all that matters now is come down to this. One game for it all.
So can Alex Smith get his calf healthy enough to at least hobble out there and make it happen at Philadelphia on Sunday? I believe it's Sunday evening.
Yeah, it's the late. It's the Sunday night game, if I'm not mistaken. Skip. McLaurin, will he be able to go? McLaurin, I think that's how you say his name. So it's going to be very interesting how this plays out, Skip. Look, the Washington's going to know what they need to do. But hold on. If the Giants win, the Giants, and Washington lose, the Giants are in. So basically, everybody, it's all everybody. And I think that's what they wanted, Skip. When they put if you notice, Skip, what the NFL did, I think it was about 4 years ago, they put everybody is playing within their division. Because if it's on the line, we don't want nobody, we resting. We taking time off. No, you're not. Because there's something on the line here. There's a division title and a home playoff game. But let me tell you what's waiting for you on the horizon. For the winner of the NFC East. There's a team down in Central Florida that's primed and ready. And so if you say, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens next Saturday, next Sunday, because you know who the NFC East went against. You know who they get. Tampa. So what you going to do? Because in a way, a part of me.
Are you giving in to the fact that Dallas is going to win the NFC
No,
East?
Skip. I think you are. I'm saying a part of me wants them to. Because then I want you to choose between Tampa and your team that you
I will take a home playoff game just as a reward, just to get that far. I will take it right now. And I don't care who plays quarterback for the Washington football team. It might be Taylor Heineke, who actually gave them a spark late in that game. With 9:08 left, he was inserted for 137 yards.
Skip, you can't have that weak of an arm at 22, 23 years of age. I mean,
he does know that offense because he started a game for Scott Turner, who's now the coordinator in Washington at Carolina under Rivera. So he knows it, and they may have to go that direction. The last time I saw Alex Smith playing a football game, it was at San Francisco. He had a QBR of 9 on a scale of 0 to 100.
If we really think about it, Skip, he hadn't looked really good.
Nope.
I mean, and every time he drops back to pass, I just have to turn my head because I'm so afraid of what's going to happen. And guys are not thinking, man, Alex Smith had this surgery. He came back. It's a miracle. Skip, if I'm a defensive player, I'm trying to tear Alex Smith's head off. He has something that I want, the football. I'm trying to separate him from the football.
Okay, so we gave up another 150 yards rushing yesterday, which was too many, but really not enough to beat us. So that's about our average. If we can just hold somebody to 150. But remember, the Giants don't run it well at all because they don't have Saquon and they got Wayne Gallman, and he's gone over 100 one time this whole year, and it was at Seattle on December 6th when Colt McCoy pulled off maybe the upset of the year on the road, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's all they got going for them. They don't rush the passer. They don't protect their passer. I think it's made to order for us to go up there and win this game.
Well, Skip, obviously, you know, you mentioned that the Eagles had 151 yards rushing on 29 carries. 69 of that came by Jalen Hurts on 9 carries. So on broken plays. Daniel Jones is not running. I don't know if Colt McCoy has the kind of legs to be able to get away like, say, a healthy Daniel Jones or say, Jalen Hurts. We saw guys with legs. We saw Tannehill take off last night, Skip. So I don't know. This is what I do know. Dallas has set themselves up in position. But if history serves me correctly, they've been in this position how many times before with Tony Romo? How many times before that we've seen them? All they had to do was win one game, win the final game, and they're in the playoffs, and they gag. They spit the bit.
Andy Dalton, first 5 years in the league, averaged 10 wins a year, made the playoffs 4 times. I like my chances with Andy Dalton. And finally, I need to throw one last bouquet to number 21, my man Ezekiel Elliott, because he does not have his burst. He's not as sudden.
He had it yesterday. Skip,
stop.
Skip, you saw that last
He
one?
got loose for 31.
That last one.
He got loose for 31, and that put him over 100 to 105. But I got to tell you, the whole day, he ran hard.
Yeah.
He ran as hard as he could run. He ran his heart out yesterday, and I appreciated that.
Yeah.
Maybe not what he used to be, but when you show everybody on your team that you're playing that hard, it is contagious.
Skip, a lot of the runs that he got, they were 2 yards. They should have been -5.
I agree. Totally agree.
Yeah. I mean, he got on some things. I'm like, hold on. How'd you get out of that?
Scratch and claw and fight and squirm and just gut it out to try to get 5 yards. And he often did.
That's what happened when you see Tony Pollard the week before. Take off and go
That is
40.
probably
Take
true.
off and go 15.
Yep.
A little harder.
So, my Cowboys are back. Back
Look how
in the
they're gonna
saddle again, and here they come, and they are going to win the East, and they are going to play a home playoff game, and then we'll let the chips fall.
Oh, you let that
Let
No,
the chips
ain't no
fall.
chips falling. The chips, there's going to be a whole tree falling on their heads.
Yeah, but I can't wait for a week from today when I get to sit in this seat.
Now, it look like Tampa be going up to D.C.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.